Sister-in-law also felt extremely difficult after hearing it. Why does this guy have more eyes than me? So he patted his chest and made sure he never did it. I just want to live in peace with my husband. Could you please leave? And I wasn't moved at all. He directly rejected him. Who knew he suddenly got into trouble? Attacked me. I dodged his attack. Then reach out and grab the void. A sword slashed his whip away. However, I still underestimated his strength. He grabbed my weapon with a whip. For a while, the tyrannical aura overturned the furnishings in the house. But because the power is not much different, we can't do anything to each other. Then he suddenly released the whip. Take advantage of my weightlessness. He sprinted towards me. Purple aura flickered in his hands at this time. In the face of his attacks, I'm not afraid at all. Just slightly sideways and dodged. Then I summoned the Amoy rope again. The next moment, Chengsheng seemed to have eyes. Keep chasing him. 3 under 5 divided by 2. Tied him up in a way that the audience liked to see. After being subdued by me, sister-in-law also became very frightened. Ask me what I want to do, but I just grabbed the rope with a cold face. Next moment, a long black shadow appeared in front of him. He turns his head to the side. You kill me. I was so scared that I quickly explained that it wasn't. It's not that you misunderstood me, but his little pearls have long spewed out. I thought you were a decent disciple. It certainly is. The outsiders who heard the movement ran in. As soon as I came in, I saw this strange scene. I actually tied up his wife. He looked at the lady on the ground. He looked at me again with a stiff face. Did I come at a bad time? I looked at him with an awesome look. You came just in time. The first time I played bundling with my sister-in-law, I was hit by the big brother who came. He, who can tolerate everything, is also a little restless at this time. I can only hold back tears and say that I want to make my wife happy. I can accept that. I bite the bullet and explain that it's not what you think. But he became even more terrified. So that's it. Your true intention is to join me. I yelled to shut up. You all calm down. Saying that, I put the rope in the hands of the outsider. Let him help my sister-in-law up first. The staff also calmed down at this time. And let me untie his wife first. I just cut him off. Let him hear me out first. I'm afraid the bondage on your wife cannot be lifted. Because your wife is not human. It's a demon. The hands of the outside members suddenly trembled. Then I took my wife in my arms, shouting no. I smiled, fumbling back and forth in the crotch. Since there is no trust outside the staff, then I'll use my best trick. And just when I was ready to go wild, sister-in-law suddenly shouted that she was safe. Husband. In fact, I have been afraid to tell. In the shocked eyes of the members, there are 2 cats growing on the lady's head. He was already in tears. I'm really a demon. Grit your teeth. It seems that some decision has been made. Then he held the pearl person in his arms. Even if you are a demon, I don't care either. Madame Ning looked out of the membership with tears in her eyes. Tell me about your experience. Although I am a demon, but I've never hurt anyone. Lived like this for 100 years until I met. Although you may have forgotten, but 20 years ago, you saved me. The outside staff was shocked. I shouted in surprise that it was you. It turns out that women's cultivation at that time was still shallow, surrounded by a pack of wolves. Although he managed to escape in the end, but was trapped by a trap used by hunters in ambush, just when he was feeling desperate. but was passed by the juvenile center, surprised to save the famous. He quickly said what happened next. And then the woman induces herself, and then she goes through penance, step by step from a kitten to a human shape. I didn't even tell my own family. Run into town. As a result, when I got down the mountain, I met a member outside. Although the appearance has changed a lot, but the woman still recognized the boy. The outside staff became very surprised. It turned out to be the second time we met. After that, the two who fell in love at first sight fell in love. Not long after, the two became attached. But a happy life. But because a woman's pregnancy is terminated, who knows? But the people outside the community who heard the news were overjoyed. And the woman starts crying. Although she can get pregnant. But because I can't really be playful, so it's a demon fetus. Once the baby is born, you will be exposed. That time I lied to you to go back to your mother's house. Speaking of this woman, she was already crying. I actually went to the mountains to secretly abort the child. But the man hugged him even tighter. So what if you're a monster? I couldn't care less. You and I have been in love all these years. How can you be false because you are a human being or a demon? The woman stopped her tears. This life can be accompanied by my husband for 10 years. I am still satisfied. Saying that, he broke free from the arms of the members. Our children turned into ghosts. And I was furious. It's my karma. Then he walked up to me resolutely. You kill me. The staff suddenly shouted, no, even if it's a rainstorm. It should also be borne by me. And he goes to his knees with a spade, kneel down in front of me. Wish I could let them go. And I'm having a hard time deciding. Although it was deserved to kill him. What's more, I can exchange the treasure through the pagoda. But if you let him go, take away the family property. Seems like a good choice too. Choose, but that's not what I really want. I shook my head in disappointment. This move also frustrated the outside members. The woman feels very content at this time. Just about to resign, and I'm pointing at myself. I really look like the kind of guy who can only yell. Tianlong's bald head? They were stunned by my inexplicable transformation of thunder. And then I took it back. I only use this as a last resort. I can't stand there and be beaten by you. If Mrs. Ming really didn't hurt anyone, then come back to the mountain gate with me. Say it in advance. I'm not going to persecute you. I just want to invite the wind for Mrs. Ming. Just whispered to my sister-in-law. My sister-in-law blushed and agreed to my unreasonable request. But her decent husband didn't stop her. He also gave up all his tens of millions worth. It turned out that in order not to break up this loving couple, I offered to invite the wind for Mrs. Ming. Mrs. Ming was shocked for 2.5 seconds. He said to me in surprise, I do. Even in the 3 dynasties, I confirm whether what I just said is true. The famous member was suddenly struck by lightning. Madam, you don't want me anymore. Looking at your husband's cruel look. Madam Ming's face immediately turned cold. Although I don't know what you are thinking, but I always feel like you misunderstood something. That made me feel really hot. Si Chu Shaoxia just said, the wind is a blessing to a demon like me. Different from the evil monsters circulating in the world. The story of soliciting wind from others. Invite the wind for the monster. It can be understood as giving you a proof of a good demon. With it, you will be free to live in the human city. And those monsters without identification, they get picked up by the pickets. Then drag it to a place where no one is there and kill me. The reason why I was so trembling before. I'm just afraid of being discovered as a monster. And those who have the right to be canonized, only dynasty and 9 heavens immortal sect. The means of the 9 heavens immortal gate are out of reach. It can be said that there is no opportunity for active contact at all. As for the 10 earth immortal sect, which is 1 level lower than the 9 heavens, don't have that right at all. And today's human dynasty, even with an identity, orders will be rejected. What's more, I'm waiting for this kind of demon who doesn't even have an identity. So whether it is internal defense, just give the shot. It is equivalent to making a guarantee for this demon. If the demons of the future make trouble, whoever shoots the wind will be held responsible. Therefore, even an immortal sect disciple with the ability to shoot the wind, very few people are willing to do this kind of hassle. And as he did that, he fell to his knees in front of me. Si Xia is willing to seal the little girl for me. It's the gift of reinvention. The little demon has no reward. I can only thank you here first. I quickly waved to stop them. It's just a small thing. Min Jianwei suddenly looked up at me. I would like to offer all the properties of the famous family. Please accept. Although I am indeed greedy for money, but I dare not ask for it. You still have a big family to support. Mrs. Lin nodded in agreement. He began to introduce the 2 maids he had trained, and they said they were born with the cranial Eucharist. I just feel like there's something wrong with these 2 brains. I quickly changed the subject and left here. After that, I will report this to the master. Although that guy is very unreliable. But this is a yes. Happy immediately arranged a shooting ceremony for Mrs. Ming. Until this is completely over. I went back to my cabin for the first time. Entered my most awaited reward session. Looking at the soul of the cat locked in the iron cage, I also became extremely excited. I hope I can draw one this time. The big one follows me and presses the refining button. A golden light quickly flew into my hands. The reward this time turned out to be a golden gourd. Subsequently, I had an idea of how to use it. Just inject the aura into it. You will get the agility of a cat. But what disappointed me the most was, this is a disposable product. Hopefully, it will be at a critical moment, give me a different surprise. Subsequently, I put it away as my escape card. And I exited the god space. But I see that I don't know when. One more big white goose. The big white goose pointed to the scroll on its chest. I understood immediately. Come here. This is the monthly sale of immortal cultivation secrets. Legend has it that in the 9 heavens immortal gate, there is such a strange sect. Obviously, there are disciples who have no fighting ability in this sect, but it has a very high position in this world. Just because of all kinds of strange things in the immortal world, all sent from here. There is nothing in the sky or the ground. Subsequently, I received the news of the night from the mouth of the crane. Always pay attention to the gossip of the cultivation world. It's important practice. So I first opened the Marlboro that mattered most to me. Here are all the magic weapons in the world recorded, and we rank them all the time. But for hundreds of years, it seems that the top treasures have not changed much. It's like the first demon tower on Marlboro. But I sort of sighed. You must know that Shushan could rank first in the 9 heavens. It depends on the existence of the demon tower. Just because of the First World War 500 years ago, the artifact is gone. Because of this, Shushan's strength is getting worse. Even some of the top-ranked field immortal sects can't compare. Then I just row him away. He looked at the second-ranked 7-star sword again. It's just that the special effects of this second treasure are simply excessive. This is a preference for one's own treasure. But think about Tianyu Pavilion in addition to publishing monthly magazines these years. It doesn't seem to be a big move either. It is said that the last time the 7-star sword was dispatched, or because Chengqi was born, Contemporary headmaster suppresses Chun-Chi with one sword. There's no denying that. Although the 7-star sword has terrifying power, but the head of the district called one man and one sword, the record of killing through the Ghost Beast sect, more explosive. It just seems that every time I use the 7-star sword, we'll pay a great price. That is, so I started to slide again and again. Finally, stopped on a fiery red ore page, because this thing always gives me a very familiar feeling. So I did a few swipes. I finally remembered. Where have you seen this artifact? Isn't this the one my master is wearing around his neck? However, usually due to force majeure, so I never saw the whole picture clearly. But think about it. It seems that these top-ranked treasures are quite close to me. The mystery. I stopped looking at this useless stuff. Turn to the gossip I'm most interested in. The first is the Hidden Fog Immortal Mountain. Teacher Jin Immortal out about Oven Mountain. Great War Nether King sect, left and right guardians, kill the Silver King directly, and I wasn't interested. Continue to click on the next one. A peerless genius appeared in the 3 Absolute Valley of the 10th Brother sect. The situation is hot. Slaughtered 3 witches and evil sects in 1 month, but I heard that he is jealous of evil. His own sect is both good and evil. That is to say, will he target his own colleagues? Soon I found out again. There is actually another piece of news about Shushan. Wang Xuanling and Dong Hai kill a turbulent flood dragon. See this name. I'm not feeling well. This is not what Master mentioned a few days ago. The guy who doesn't deal with him. Just as I was thinking about it, then there was a huge explosion behind him. I saw that the master had disappeared into the sky. Leave for the teacher. Take care of yourself. And I sighed. Hope those creatures in the East China Sea don't be killed and exterminated. And then I stretched. It's time to deliver. Along the way, I reopened the music scene. Visiting Xinglong Academy with the Emperor. Intent to take his daughter. Marry the chief disciple of the academy, but I didn't expect to be rejected by the chief. And the reason he gave was actually Sigma. Men don't fall in love. See here, I burst out laughing. That's a Sigma. So I moved on to the next one. Thunder Castle, one of the 10 sects. I also need to recruit blood donors for my daughter. But no one went. Because Honglinger released harsh words. If someone can't beat him, it's going to be food for his dragon-toothed mammoth. However, there is also gossip about Shu Mountain. Zhang Yubai, known as the most beautiful fairy in Mount Shu, he actually ate with the ugly man of Tianwang sect.